My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Slightly Biased Show here at the incredible Haymaker Studios, the house that's slightly built. I've been up here so much, they're going to name this place after me. If you are not subscribed to the Haymaker Network and you're watching over there, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on my channel, link down in the description. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like the stream. It goes such a long way. Even if you're watching after the fact, hit that like button. There's really no reason for these to not have like 10,000 likes, right? How hard is that? I don't think hard, really, at all. So hit the like button. If you're listening on audio devices, leave a 5-star review, and also go and check out the House of Haymaker, the daily show here on the Haymaker Network. Every weekday at noon. Features a whole cast of Haymaker talking Dallas sports, all sports, sports adjacent, and maybe we don't even do sports. Maybe we talk UFOs or geopolitics or, I don't know, the happenings going on in the Middle East. We really go touch a whole broad range of topics. Today, Meeskin and DLLS's Bobby K. Bobby Caralla talk finals and the Mavs. Jeff Kavanaugh also came on to talk Cowboys. I had a lot of hot takes there. A lot of hot takes. Once Skin started dropping specific defensive schemes, I really dove deep into that. House of Haymaker every weekday at noon. Tomorrow's show, we have a full World Cup draft with everybody. I cannot wait for that. Why weren't you included in the Mark Cuban? Oh, yeah, go watch the Mark Cuban interview that happened. That was yesterday as well. Mark Cuban. Look, a couple of you guys asked me why. That is not my area of expertise. That is Bin and Skin's thing through and through. Okay. On top of that, I don't even really want to do that shit yet. Like, yeah, I'm also not allowed within 100 feet of Mark Cuban. That's true.
You were suspended that day. I mean, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I was suspended. No, that's not my thing. I don't want to do like the interviews with players. I've never really wanted to do that. People always ask, like, why don't I go to like media day with Locked On? One, I don't have the credentials to do that. And then two, I don't know if I really would want to be honest with you. I don't know. I like being able to say whatever I want about a player without like the lingering back. Because the way my brain works, I'd be like, oh, he's a nice guy. I met him. He's really nice. There's no way I could say anything negative about him. Right. It would go something like this. Max Christie's a nice guy. We should pay him $25 million a year. Right. Me in my current form, I'm like, dude, no chance. And fuck, you could ever do that. If I met him and talked to him, I guarantee I'd be like, dude, pay him $25 million, man. It's a good kid. He needs generational wealth. He deserves it. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's not my area of expertise. So, go check it out, though. It was a great episode. I listened to it. Now, to be fair, and I'll be totally transparent here, me and Matt were texting about this. I don't listen to any of Mark Cuban's podcast appearances. So I don't know how new with you this information was. I don't keep track because I know he's on about like 2 a week at this point.
But says he doesn't want to do podcasts.
He's got a spot right here, right next to me if he wants to. You hear that, Mark? Right here, buddy. Me and you could shoot the shit if you're interested. As my guest, as my co-host. Let me make it very clear. It'd still be my show, and you just kind of chime in. How funny would that be?
The Slightly Biased Show.
That would be such a power move. Cuba's just like, good point. And I'm like, thanks. And that's like his only contribution to the show.
He's our AJ Hawk. That'd be great.
Great point. Thank you, Mark. No disagreements ever. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, man.
I would love that. Let's copyright that. No one steal that idea, please.
Let's get that in motion. So I do have today's a tough day for me, guys. So I would appreciate it if in the chat and stuff, you guys were kind to me today. It's a difficult day for me. A year ago today, I broke my ankle. Yeah. Well, technically not really a year ago. It happened probably around 4 p.m. So you just kind of processing it and dealing with it. A lot of emotions on this day. Changed the course of history forever. So to those who celebrate, dude, Jesus, I thought I was looking great this time. My face is fat as fuck. What the hell? All right, maybe I understand why you guys make fun of me now. Seriously, greatest recovery. So, have you hooped after that? I have, but not seriously. It's probably been 2 months or so since I played basketball. I'm kind of just like done, it feels like. Now, I want to say this, and I have no clue how to say this without sounding like I'm trying to do a Trump impersonation, which I'm not. Whenever they did the x-rays for me, I think it was actually after the surgery, the orthopedic doctor, and I'm not joking, literally said this almost verbatim. You have one of the strongest bone structures we've ever seen. Seriously said that. And I was like, how am I supposed to say that without sounding like That sounded like they told me I have the strongest bone structure they've ever seen, folks. They've never seen somebody recover from a broken ankle this quickly and this impressively. Well, I haven't done Trump in a while. I still got it, huh? I still got it.
That was pretty good.
I do have a good Trump impersonation. I don't know. How much milk do you consume daily? Honestly, I do drink milk with my coffee. Helps the bones get strong. You guys saw that. They said I had the strongest bone. You think they say that to everyone whenever you're coming out of anesthesia and you don't know what planet you're on? You had one of the strongest bone structures you've ever seen. I just heard you say that to the 8-year-old right over there. That was weird whenever I was getting my surgery done. It was literally me. It was like a surgery center. I go in. It's literally me and I'm not kidding, like 10 8-year-olds that are waiting to get surgeries done on their tonsils. So I was a little bit nervous because everyone's like, yeah, they're getting their tonsils out. He's getting his tonsils out. I'm like, you guys do ankle stuff in here, correct? Like, I just want to make it very clear. It's for my ankle. I'm not getting my tonsils out. I've already done that.
Yeah, did they call you big guy? Are you about to tell us?
Yeah.
Like, they said I was a big guy.
Come on, buddy. Come on, big guy. God, anesthesia was sick, man. I wish you could just do it.
Was that your first and only surgery?
No. I've had surgery before. But it'd been a long time since I've been put under.
Since you've tasted the sweet, sweet anesthesia?
It really is insane because you're asleep and then you're awake. There's no dreaming. There's nothing. It's just darkness and then light. Low-key, if you think about that too long, you get into an existential crisis that I'm
little prophetic there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get into that at all. So anyways, yeah, that was a year ago today. We're, processing that and everything that came with that. But wow, look at how we've recovered. Look at how we've done. I'm a swimmer now. We recorded House of Haymaker a couple hours ago. I went swimming in between. So if you're wondering why it smelled like chlorine in here, that was why.
Chlorine and burrito.
Chlorine and burrito. And I housed an entire Freebirds burrito. And honestly, yes, I float. Yeah, listen, I don't know how close we are to our Freebird sponsorship. I know we were talking about that. The burrito I had today from Freebird, I got it yesterday. I didn't eat really anything, so I Uber Eats a burrito from Freebird, and they had a BOGO. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll just eat that for lunch tomorrow. It was terrible. I mean, no two ways around it. It was genuinely shit. The rice tasted as if it was sitting in a dark corner for 3 months. It was just not any. I don't even know what I was eating. It looked like pesto. I don't know what the fuck I ordered. It was BOGO, so I was like, yeah, just get that one. I'm not sure what it was. It looked like it was pesto sauce in there. Wouldn't recommend it. Would not recommend it to anybody. So anyways, yeah, let's dive into some of the stuff that happened last night. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks up 1-0. First things first, I actually am interested in this, and this is not sponsorship or anything, and I don't advocate for this, but I always am interested in where the gambling lines take us, right? God, it's crazy. It's crazy we're in the NBA Finals, huh? Like, wow. Sneaks up on you. The Knicks are now the betting favorites. Okay. I was actually curious about that. I was curious if the odds would swing in favor of the Knicks or if it would be more so like, the Spurs win game 2 and, the series is tied 1-1. Who knows how it's going to go? But wow. All right. Man, it's really one of those bizarre things where it's like, I said I thought the Knicks were going to win the series entering it. They win game 1 and I'm left, there's that bizarre stat. The last 3 road teams that have won game 1 of the NBA Finals have gone on to lose the series. Now, that probably doesn't mean much. That's just a coincidence, right? That's just one of those things. But I don't know. It leaves you thinking a little bit. My guess is the Spurs kind of win going away in game 2. That'd be my guess, right? But there's a lot of things to talk about in this game. Like, I don't think the Knicks played a particularly great one. Okay, it's not like you win game 1 and Josh Hart went, 5 of 8 from 3 and OG Anunoby hit 6 threes. And it's like, okay, the Knicks aren't getting that one again. Like, that was the one we kind of knew they were going to get at some point in the series. They're not getting that one again. Brunson shot the 12 of 31, right? I thought he played great. We'll talk about him more in a second. But like, Brunson shot 12 of 31. They shot 31% from 3. OG really didn't do much at all offensively until the fourth quarter when he had like that incredible 3-minute stretch that he had where he scored 8 points. Josh Hart made 1 field goal, and he was good in this game. Made 0 threes. I don't know. If I'm the Knicks, I'm leaving this thinking, dude, I think we're going to win this series 100%. Brunson looks absolutely locked in. in a psycho way that I absolutely love. Now, there is one interesting thing about this. So there was that post-game little weird not scuffle, but Brunson got upset with a fan sitting courtside, and it looked like he was kind of yelling at Scott Foster, but it appears as though, this is from our guy Chris Haynes. Haynes brief! NBA is looking into 2 courtside fans who allegedly directed vulgar, profane, flopping remarks towards Knicks star Jalen Brunson late in Game 1 of the Finals. Brunson met with official Scott Foster after the game to address the fans' behavior, to which the remarks continued. So, do I have to be the one to say it? Like, it coming from me, you guys are going to roll your eyes into the back of your head. But am I gonna have to be the one to say it? If this was someone else, the conversation we'd be having today. Because, like, it's like, yeah, get them out of here. Get them out of here, Brunson. If this was Shea, people would be telling him to do things that you should never tell somebody to do. Okay? And I'm just being honest and truthful, and nobody wants to hear it, right? Nobody wants to hear it. What do you think they said? My guess is the P word was thrown out there. They said something about Brunson's mom in regards to flopping. It's a little bizarre.
Yeah, profane flopping. I mean, what is he? Wasn't everyone around the court probably saying profane flopping stuff?
My guess is someone probably told him to stop flopping like a pussy or something like that. Because some people that really sets people off. That really sets if you're like in a I'll just tell you guys this. I've seen multiple fights happen in pickup basketball because of this. If you're in a pickup basketball game and you talk shit, right? If you call somebody a pussy or a bitch, if you say that to the wrong person, you might be in some trouble. Some people do not take kindly to that at all. Yeah, let's go through a list of all the things they should have said. Let's see how long until YouTube swoops in. No, we're not doing that. But anyways, yeah, God, Brunson in the fourth quarter. What a gangster, man. Fuck. He's so cool. He's handsome, too. That's like kind of the part of it. I think he's kind of a handsome guy as well.
Gooning.
31 shots for Brunson. Emptying the clip was great in the fourth quarter to close the game. And here's the thing. If the game gets tight down the stretch, I don't know, man. Do we think there's anybody in the league currently that you would feel more confident in late in the game, giving the keys to, than Jalen Brunson at this point in time? I really don't know. Like, you could say Shea won Clutch Player of the Year and he deserved it this year, but there's no way you would say that after his playoff run. I think it's it. I think it's Brunson. And you saw the Spurs struggling mightily to get anything going offensively late in the game. There he is walking off the floor. God, he looks so locked in. What a moment. I can't wait. We said this on the show. One thing I really wanted in this series was it to go back to New York City with the Knicks winning at least one game. Because, anything's possible. You win one game, you think you're going to win the series. You've done your job as the road team. To go out there, game 1, game 2, steal home court advantage. New York City is going to be so insane. So insane. Oh, I cannot wait to see it. That's like going to be one of my most hyped sporting events in a long time. Game 3, Monday night in New York City. Tickets as low as $7,200. You guys want to go? Should we buy out a row? What would that cost us? $250,000? Yeah, we can make that happen, I think.
Get a little GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe. $250,000. We can buy out a row. You guys just start sending in some donations. We can start looking into it a little bit.
The Strong Bones Slightly section in New York.
That's right, yeah. Strong Bones. But no, not my treat. Y'all's treat. God, $7,200? These have gone up. It was $6,000 whenever I looked earlier today. $7,200 just to get into the stadium. And your seats are going to be horrible. Your seats are going to be terrible. Yeah, the guy who ran on the court's banned. I really don't even want to give that the time of day because that guy's a loser.
Legit conversation. How much, regardless of how much money you have, what's the cutoff for a ticket for a sporting event? For you?
If I had endless money?
Endless money, yeah. I don't know, but there's got to be some sort of reasoned.
let's see. If I were rich, not endless money, but rich, I don't know if I could ever justify spending 10 grand. I don't know.
Is the cutoff?
Especially if it's like I'm spending close to 10 grand to sit in the second row or second section. Not even like 10 grand. If it's like, if it's, if I have fuck you money and it's game 7 of the NBA finals in Dallas and I somehow get like really great seats for 10 grand, a chance to, be there, be that close. Okay. That's a different conversation. 65 grand to be close to the floor. That's when we start to run into some problems.
Well, what about just getting into the building? You have enough money, but you're like, but it's the sporting event you've most wanted to go to. Game 7 Mavs. You're confident they're going to win, but you're sitting on the last row. What's the cutoff?
If I have fuck you money, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I get a little irresponsible. So it might get a little high up there.
That's what I'm saying with the Knicks fans, because it's ridiculous to us, but I think some of those guys are like, yep, never doing this again. I'm never going to another Knicks game because I'm going to this one.
Yep. It might. I mean, I'm just transparent. I've spent $1,200 combined to go to game 3 and 4 of the finals. And at that point, knew that we were going to lose pretty much. And that was at the time I was like, this is dumb. I should not be doing this. And I shouldn't have in retrospect, because game 3 is one of the most depressing things I've ever seen live with my own 2 eyes. Game 4 is cool, but it's just a whole different thing. Like I'm not even trolling. Game 4, I think I tweeted out this video whenever I was there. Probably 80% of the section we were sitting in were Celtics fans, straight up. And one of my longtime friends that I went with, he's a talker. Within 30 seconds of the game starting, him and a Celtics fan next to him were getting into it. Within 30 seconds. I was like, here we go. Here it goes. I was actually wondering this, Ronnie. If tickets are 60 grand, are teams like giving out tickets like that still? Or are like companies giving out tickets? Like 60,000. What company out there is like, dude, we can resell this and this could actually help us with our with some of our expenses this year? Like, you're reaching a point where that's like, if somebody got gifted those tickets, I'm going to be real, and I'm going to be honest with you. If I were a Knicks fan, somebody said, hey man, I know you've been following the team for so long. I've got tickets pretty close to the bench, man. Row 3, floor 6. I got you 1 ticket, man. Get out there. I'd say, thank you so much. I'd be on TickPick within an hour selling that shit for $60,000. Okay. And that's just the truth. And that needs to be it. That needs to be said. Okay. That's life altering money. 60 grand. 60 grand.
Yeah. I'll go to the next game.
Here, floor 6, row A, $170,000. And this isn't even like, this is where you're at. I mean, it's good seats. Don't get me wrong. I've had better seats.
Wow.
I've had better seats than this at a basketball game. Just throwing that out there. Do you think part of it is like, if you're sitting here, you are going to be sitting near like legit A-list celebrities as well?
There will be someone that you know sitting on your row, and
yes.
They will not know who you are or care.
There is a chance that you are sitting directly behind Timothy Chalamet.
It's a networking
and
event.
Kylie Jenner.
It could be your chance.
Hey, Timmy, man, big fan. Just want to let you know if you're interested in any YouTube basketball content.
Yeah, write it off. Work expense. Yeah, I had to do this.
Just letting you know, man, if you're interested, if you ever want to just talk ball, man, I got a spot for you on my desk as a co-host, though. I need to make that very clear. I'm the host of the show. You'll just kind of have a like side role, if that's cool with your schedule. That's what we need to do. We need to be like surveying celebs who have nothing to do, old celebs who have nothing to do really and have all the money in the world. And just like, you still want your face out there? You can come just sit That's fantastic. I think Cuban would be down for that, actually.
The slight chair. I don't even think we make it available for their schedule. They got to prioritize.
Right, exactly. And again, the camera only pans them about 3 times an episode. And then they just say, yeah, that's true. And I say, thanks. And that's it. And then if they start like talking, I do this right here. And then I go back to my point. I think that, who wouldn't want to do that? Sounds great. You guys been watching Love Island? I haven't. All right, let's talk about this, shall we?
Wow, there was a lot there, huh?
Yeah, just wanted to see. Last year I got sucked into the slop that was Love Island because I had a broken ankle and had nothing to do with my life. Keep in mind, guys, I live on the third floor of an apartment complex that does not have an elevator. So I'm not trolling whenever I say in the span of about 3 months, I left my apartment probably 3 total times because getting up and down was so nightmarish. So nightmarish. And originally I was like, I can't be that guy. I'm going to hop up and down. I had never in my life experienced a workout like that. To then it got to the point where it was like, I don't give a fuck what I look like. I don't care the aura debt that I'm going into. I'm going to get on my ass and scoot down it and up it. Yeah. Maybe it looked embarrassing. I don't care. I didn't care at all. Oh, man. Go Knicks. What do we think? We think this series... Oh, man. I really don't know. I picked the Knicks to win it, and I think I'm going to hold steady on that. I'm going to hold steady on that after game 1. I just think the Knicks have another sort of... Even though they won, I think they do have another mode that they can tap into. And late in the games, I don't know, man. But I do want to say this, though. We kind of thought this after game 1 of the Timberwolves series with the Spurs. Where it's like, oh, shit. Shit, man. Julius Randle on Wemby was a problem. Yeah. We did say that. The Knicks are just different. They're just... At a certain point, you just have to say what it is. The Knicks are an uber elite team that are steamrolling everybody. I mean, I talked about this on the Silent Report last night. In the last 18 minutes of the game, they outscored them by like 24 points. In the last 18 minutes of game time. Yeah, you have to, and it's a Bill Simmons coded way to look at it, but it's a correct way to look at it. You're gonna get a Mikal OG combined to hit 14 threes game. You're going to get a Josh Hart. We dare Josh Hart to shoot 7 threes, and he made 5 of them. You're going to get one of those, right? Oh, that was such a big game 1 win. God, Brunson is a fucking dog, man. He's a dog. That leads us into this. What's worse, trading Luka or not paying Brunson $55 million? You guys like relitigating this every 2 weeks? I do. I mean, I'll to my grave go to the defense of like, I got not wanting to pay Brunson this because he was so bad in that 2021 series against the Clippers. He was really bad to the point where it was like, oh, we didn't even know what Brunson was going to be in the league at that point because it was that bad. He got completely played off the court. That was such a depressing series in a lot of ways because Luka was fantastic. It got to game 7 against a team that had no business letting the Mavs get to 7 games against them in the Clippers, right? And really, the crazy thing is, it required Kawhi Leonard entering a flow state. I've still, to this day, I've never seen an NBA player reach. That's how good Luka was. And Tim Hardaway in those 3 wins was great as well. Yeah, and they leave KP out of this discussion because KP, I need to watch my words because I want to say some things. He seems like a really nice guy, and it sucks what's happened to him the last couple of years of his career. But my God, the rage that filled inside me watching Kristaps Porzingis in that series, it's hard to even put into words. The rage that filled inside right here in my chest whenever I'd watch KP try to post up Rajon Rondo. Whenever I'd watch KP try to post up Terrence Mann. Whenever I watch KP try to post up Patrick Beverley. Christ almighty. God, it made me so angry. But anyways, yeah, Brunson after that series, it was just like, yeah, what are we going to extend? Like, it's tough. He just wasn't good. And to this day, I don't know how true it is that Brunson, in January of the year, they made the conference finals. That Brunson was willing to sign a 4-year, $55 million deal. I still to this day don't know that, how true that is. Still. And then, yeah, once it became, once Brunson, really it sounds like, and listening to Cupid on House of Haymaker, go listen to it right now, kind of briefly talk about it and listening to this get relitigated a million times. It sounds like once the trade deadline passed, it was over. Like he was gone. The Knicks had already put the pieces in place and it was going to happen. That's sort of what it sounded like. And Cuban said it on the House of Haymaker interview that they had heard, they had been hearing stuff that the Knicks, even before the trade deadline, that the Knicks were going to make a hard push for him, and they tried to trade him to the Knicks. Am I wrong, Matt? Didn't he say that?
Yeah, he was thinking about it, but I mean, he kind of got left at the altar almost because they went to a wedding. But
no, I'm saying at the trade deadline, didn't he say that they like talked to the Knicks?
They shopped it, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, I mean, it did feel like once that extension didn't get signed, it was over. So, and I have to always say this. I am happy this happened. I know you're going to hear that and be like, what? How are you happy? Yeah, in an ideal world, you traded him and got some return for him, like got some valuable pieces in return for him. I'm happy it happened for two different reasons. One, I don't think the Brunson-Luka fit was fantastic. You know, they made it work, right? It's not a coincidence that when Brunson really started to spread his wings and fly was when Luka was hurt and the Mavs needed somebody to take over. And Brunson was kind of getting close to being ready to do that. But Brunson, and he developed this over time, but Brunson was not really a spot-up three-point shooter, right? They both needed the ball in their hands. Brunson just, I don't know. And yeah, you make a good point, Wopo. If Brunson does sign an extension, almost certainly Brunson's getting traded for Kyrie, would be my guess. That feels like how it probably end up going down. But another reason I'm happy, and obviously I just think Kyrie was a much better fit next to Luka. Kyrie's just one of the best off-ball guards in the history of the NBA, so it worked perfectly. But another reason I'm happy is like, dude, I am happy for Jalen Brunson. Like, Jalen Brunson got to go home to New York City, a place that it's gone decades without having an even like somewhat good point guard, right? Brunson goes there and gets to not only have his own team, but have the Knicks, his hometown team, and a team that's just like a franchise that's desperate for a hero. And Brunson goes and gets to spread his wings and become that, and now has a chance to etch his name down. I mean, dude, if the Knicks win this series and Brunson carries them, I mean, he could win. He could win. I guarantee you, in about 15 years, he could run for mayor and win 100%. He would be the next mayor of New York City, right? After Mamdani's entering his third term as presidency, because things are going that great. So, anyways, yeah, I think Brunson's Hall of Famer if they win 100%. 100%. Brunson might honestly be one anyways. That'll be an interesting one. Cat's a Hall of Famer 100% if they win. Cat last night. Wow. Talk about rewriting your career. If Karl Anthony Towns wins, if the Knicks win this series, Cat continues to play the way he's been playing, man, talk about rewriting your career. Like the way that we talked about Cat for like 5 years, the way we talked about Cat for 15 years from now, that won't even be in the conversation. You'll look at Cat's stats, because his stats have always been great. You'll look at Cat's stats, you look at the fact that he was on that Knicks championship team, he was on that Knicks finals team, and he was good in that series. Maybe he outplayed Wemby, and it'll be like, oh yeah, this was like a top 3 center of the generation. That's how it'll go down. That's how it'll be remembered. 15 years.
It's the same thing that happened to Dirk outside of Dallas, because people thought it soft and weak and can't win it. In 2011, then now everyone's, well, look at these stats.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like you didn't talk about this on the side of the report, but Cat brought that team back single-handedly in the third quarter. Yeah, dude, Cat was incredible last night. He was so good. I thought really, too, especially in the first half, because the Spurs had to pretty much change their defensive coverage because Cat was blowing past Wemby pretty easily on drives to the basket. I don't know. Again, If I'm the Spurs or the Knicks, I'm feeling very confident right now. Obviously, you just won game 1, but even how that game went, I'm leaving it going, oh shit. Like, obviously, you always, hey, we have a chance. We think we're going to win this series. But there's always that deep down, like, well, we got to do X, Y, and Z, and they got Wemby. I'd be leaving game 1 going, oh my God, guys, I think we're going to, if we just play our game, I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win the fucking NBA Finals. That's how I'd feel leaving it. If I'm the Spurs, I'm like, dude, De'Aaron Fox, like, what the hell? Are you just shit now? Are you just bad? Because if so, that's a problem for us. So that sucks. Wemby, like, are the efficient games just gone? Like, we're just going to live on the perimeter? Huh.
Dylan Harper time.
Dylan Harper, for real. For real. Man, I love it. Loved that game last night. So fun. So fun. So many different plot lines. What a great series. Do we have the ratings for it yet? Because I bet the ratings were through the roof. How long does it take for those things to come out? A couple days, right? anyways, whenever we see it, I'm so interested. So interested. We think it might clear 20 million? Does that seem high? 20 million for game 1? I think
that's pretty high.
I think game 7 of the conference finals was like 14 million. So I think it's possible. Conference finals ratings. Let's see. Spurs, Thunder set viewership marks for game 7. Game 7 averaged 15.9 million. So I do think that Spurs win. It peaked with 22.2 million viewers. Oh, yeah, I think game 1 could clear 20 million pretty easily.
Yeah, I guess with the Knicks factor of it, yeah.
I think they could. Man. Kids came and watched in New York. Bro, if you think kids weren't watching that game, if you think the entirety of New York City was not tuned into that game, I don't know what to tell you. You think kids weren't watching that? Come on. I agree that sometimes the late start times are wild because that game did basically start at 8:40 local time in New York, but come on. They were watching.
Yeah, the 15.9 was an average, but they peaked at 17.7 that game 7.
Okay. I wonder what that 22.2 million was in that article, but I already clicked off of it. Even primetime Heatles, era LeBron finals were getting 15, 20 million until game 6, 7 when they hit 20, 25 million. I'm telling you, bro, I'm thinking that it might be over 20. Game 1. It's the Knicks and Wemby. And I think they just calculate these things a little bit differently now, though, to be fair. NBA, dude, it's been a great postseason by viewership wise. It's been a fantastic postseason. All right, let's get into some brief news here. I don't know. I don't really feel, to be honest with you guys, and this is a great segue, me saying I don't really want to talk about this. But I don't, just being truthful with you, our guy Jimmy. Listen, as far as coaching searches go, I don't know. Like, we won't know until we know with these things, and unless it's some retread, right? Like Doc Rivers. I saw with Terry Stott's name. I don't want that really. But you got to remember, sometimes in the interview process for coaches, and I could be wrong here, but I think there's some value in almost bringing a guy in for an interview, kind of just like a consultation, basically. Like, hey, we'll bring you an interview. We'll lay out our sort of plans for our franchise. And listen, we're probably not going to hire you, right? We're probably going to go a younger route, but we value your opinions on this stuff. Like, what do you think? That could be it. Could be some of it. But again, I don't really know. It does appear as though, and I will say this, I had heard, I just don't know, but the little whispers, little birdies here and there have brought up John Shire quite a bit. I've heard John Shire's name has been DM'd to me several times. I don't know, though, what these DMs mean and how they could possibly know. It's just, he's the Duke coach. Cooper Flagg was there. Put 2 and 2 together, right? But it's interesting. I don't know. The college coaches, sometimes it works great. There's literally no way of knowing until it happens, right? Literally no way. Dusty May is interesting. Michigan was unbelievable this year. Shire will be so underwhelming. Really? I don't know. Like I said, to me, whoever they hire, let's see how it all pans out. Everyone thought Kidd was going to be an absolute disaster, and it really wasn't. Say whatever you want. I know some people will be like, yeah, it was actually a disaster. No, it really wasn't. It worked. It worked fine, I would say.
It's not like they traded like a big guy or anything.
Right, yeah. They didn't trade a 6'7" Slovenian guy. College coaches are whack. How many times do they come into the league with inflated egos against world-class athletes? Yeah, but it's worked before. Brad Stevens was a college coach.
Sign me up for Dusty May. That people love playing for him.
Yeah. Shire Spreadsheet FC will take it. Okay, get me some spreadsheet demons, man. Give me some spreadsheet demons. So that's something that I'm assuming you want your coach before the draft. To me, that just makes sense. It could be a heat check by Masai and be like, yeah, I'm drafting whoever I want. I don't care what a coach has to say. So I need to make sure coaches understand that. Like, I'm going to draft whatever I want, but I'd also want, to have a understanding with a coach. Like, hey, we're thinking about drafting this guy. You cool with that? Yeah. What's your opinion? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Hey, if you're, Some people, we had Bobby on House of Haymaker today, and he brought up Morez Johnson. I know Isaac loves Morez Johnson, is like even cool with Morez Johnson at 9. I'm not at all. But, or trading back and then picking up Morez Johnson. Hey, go get Dusty May then. How about this? You draft a Damara and Morez Johnson and Yaxel, and then go get Dusty May. Honestly, that'd be sick. I'm actually 100% in for that. Trade back and get 2 of those guys and then somehow trade back up and get another. I'm in. I'm in on that. Here it is. Here's the play. A Damara drops to 9 for some reason. Great. Draft him at 9. Boom. Trade PJ Washington or something else, whatever, to OKC for 12 and 17. Then you get Morez Johnson and Yaxel. A Damara, Morez Johnson, Yaxel, Dusty May. Okay, let me ask you guys that. If that was the Mavericks draft, what would you honestly give that 1 to 10? I'd give that like an 8 or a 9. I'd be pretty pumped. It'd be kind of a weird fit, but I'm a little bit here for it. That would be fun. A 20, 8.5 out of 10. I'm here for it. 7.5, I need to get a good guard in free agency. Yeah. Still no guards. That's all right. We're going point Morez Johnson. Point Morez. Honestly, that was like, I've already talked about game 1 of the finals so much. And we're waiting for all of the real slop to start trickling in. I always forget what time of the year does the slop really start getting there. When does the slop really start? When do we really start to experience it? You guys want to do a mock draft with me? Should we do a mock draft? I know you guys love that shit, man. You guys love some mock drafts and some slop. Some free agency slop. Let's do it. Let's do one for every team. I'm getting closer to giving you guys an update on the Slightly model, right? Working out some stuff. I'm excited about it. You know, I do think it's probably going to end up being the best model, and I probably will sell it to a team for anywhere between $200 million to $250 million. Do a Mavs mock offseason. No, we'll do one of those. Tonight I'm doing the Lakers on the channel.
Can we do a bracket of your mocks after that?
Yeah, then we can do a bracket of mocks, and then a bracket of my offseason fake trades. And we'll see which ones. I always say I just want to get one right, and I never do. I don't know if I've ever predicted a trade. It's so hard. Should we be everybody? Let's be everybody. Do a 1-round draft all team mock draft. And here's the thing, guys, and I've said this. I hate whenever I go look at mock drafts, unless you have intel. And this is just for my creators out there. Unless you have intel, which is interesting, right? And you're like updating us on, hey, it sounds like this guy could go here, this guy could go here. When you do a mock draft, why not just do what you would do? If you're just like regurgitating things that have been said by Kevin O'Connor or the ESPN guys, like at some point, I just want to hear you have a hot take about somebody, right? Who's somebody that you like that no one else likes, right? That's kind of where I'm at. All right, so let's just do that. This is who I would pick at every spot. Wizards, I'm taking Cam Boozer because he's the best player in the draft, and there's no two ways around it. Okay? Cam Boozer is going 101. Now, 102 to the Jazz. I think I'd still take AJ DeBonza. You know, I am kind of spreadsheets FC, but I do like AJ quite a bit. I think he's going to be good in the NBA. And Utah, whatever. Just give him the card keys. And then I would take Darren Peterson. Now, I got to be real with you guys. As of late, I've started to question, for some reason, I've started to nitpick Caleb Wilson quite a bit to the point where I'm like, are we that sure he's just locked in as the fourth guy? Like we're lumping him in with these guys? It's like this big time top four? Because lately I've been like, I don't know, man. I've actually, so for a while there, I was only using the Slightly model, just being transparent. And I'd watch games here and there, don't get me wrong. But now I've started to like watch, you know, in my free time. Dude, I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. Caleb Wilson is, like, his highlights are freakish, right? His highlights are absolutely freakish. But there's a lot of stuff that happens in between the highlights that are not very freakish, that scare me just a teeny tiny bit. I don't think he's at the level of the three guys above him. Cam Boozer, AJ, and Darren Peterson are all pretty locked in. Kingston's better. I do love Kingston. But if I'm the Bulls, though, and I'm like, Caleb Wilson is the best high upside play here, so it does make sense to draft him 100%. Yeah, so now we get to the Clippers. I still love Wagler. I still love him. I love his. I think there's some real legit upside there. I know that the lack of athleticism is scary, and the slight frame is scary as well. But he just produced at such a high level this past year. The shot making, the shot creation, the pace. I don't know. Would I be surprised if 8 years from now, Wagler's like an all-star level player? No, I would not at all. I would take Wagler if I'm them. I think he's actually a great fit for what they have currently, but it's fine. I'm taking him. Now, the Nets is where things get interesting because I'm starting to get a little iffy on some of these guards, but Mikal Brown Jr., who, it's weird because I talked about this when I did the Kings and Nets offseason preview. It's weird because, like, other teams, I'd have to really sit down and convince myself on Mikal Brown Jr. and go through all of his flaws and be like, are we sure we want this? I'm talking specifically for, like, the Mavs at number 9. It's like, okay, let's lay out everything that could go wrong here. Let's lay out every single scenario where it goes incorrectly. You got the back problems, very high turnover numbers, was not very efficient, bad defensive player. All of those things are scary. However, if I'm a team that's already young, if I'm a team that is just swimming in assets, which the Nets are, then I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, Mikal Brown Jr. could come in and shoot 15 fucking threes a game. And then what if he's like a efficient three-point scorer? He's going to be one of the best offensive players in the league then. And it does make a ton of sense. So I do love Mikal Brown Jr. quite a bit for the Nets. It's like a perfect fit. And same thing with Acuff. It's so weird. Because listen, Acuff will be immediately one of, if not the absolute worst defensive player in the NBA. Right? No two ways around that. I don't think there's another team where Acuff makes sense than the Kings. That's what's hilarious about this. Any other team, I'm like, too much risk. Like, the infrastructure we have already in place. I don't know if we can survive having a terrible defensive player playing 35, 36 minutes. For the Kings, though, if I'm in the front office and I'm saying, yeah, but I think this guy could potentially be like a top 10 offensive player in the NBA. This guy could just be one of those guys, you put him on your team and he's your engine and you're going to be a top 10 offense at the very worst. Then am I like, okay, cool. If he takes us to the first round of the playoffs, great. We've been to the playoffs one time in 25 fucking years. Like, great. Who cares? He takes us to the second round and then flames out. That's one of the best seasons in our franchise's history. So that's like the only time where I'm like, it does kind of make some sense for the Kings, bizarrely. Acuff can 100% be Jalen Brunson. Was that his high-end comp on Bleacher Report? So the Jalen Brunson thing, I'm not even going to compare any small guards to him. Jalen Brunson is one of one. Okay, he's one of one. Jalen Brunson's probably going to end up becoming a Kawhi type, a Pascal type, or we're just like, well, he can become that, KD. It's like, no, he can't. Jalen Brunson is one of one. The Knicks had spent years building this defensive infrastructure around him. And then also beyond that, let me tell you this. Darius Acuff, absolutely much worse defender in college than Jalen Brunson was. Okay?
Brunson was on a national championship team at Villanova for comparing the same time frame.
Brunson was a national champion and also competes defensively in a way that Darius Acuff does not. Okay, he just doesn't. So, Hawks, to me, explain to me one reason why the Hawks should not take a Daymar. I've yet to hear a logical explanation, especially, so they're kind of similar to the Nets in a way where it's like, okay, Mikal Brown Jr.'s three-point pull-up shooting is like really nice, and I think on this version of the Atlanta Hawks makes total sense. With what's happened here, Daymar just, I'm not going to do any trades here. Daymar makes all the sense in the world, and then if I'm the Mavs, I'm salivating, and I'm taking Kingston Flemings, okay? I'm Team Kingston in terms of like the realistic, from what we've heard. I'm Kingston and run, Kingston and smile, Kingston, and sprint to the podium. That's the way that I'm feeling. No, it better not be Burries if Kingston is there. It better not be Burries. And now we get to the people I don't care about. I really only care about the top 9. What do the Bucks do? Who cares? Let me tell you what I would do if I'm the Bucks. This is what we're doing. This is what I would do. I'm planning for the Giannis exodus. Out of all of these guys right here that are left, I do rate LeBaron Philon, by the way. I rate him. I would not be mad at all if the Mavs draft him at 9. I think that there is like some serious star level offensive upside there for him. And again, if I'm the Bucks and I'm about to trade Giannis, I'm going to be horrible anyway. It's like, yeah, I'd rather have this shot than maybe some lower ceiling guys or the star upside of like Nate Mint, where it's just like Nate Mint is so risky in comparison to somebody like LeBaron, who I do think is pretty safe, right? A safer ceiling bet. How about that? Then the Warriors. This is about where I'd probably go with Yaxel. I have Yaxel. I probably will have Yaxel. Almost certainly have Yaxel like my top 7 on like a ranking. But like none of those teams ahead are really probably going to be considering Yaxel. Warriors trading that pick? Yeah, maybe. But I'm not going to do trades here. Burries does make sense on the Warriors, to be fair. But they kind of already have like Burries and Pods. You know, you don't want to go who you guys hire on, Mara or Yaxel? I mean, I think Yaxel's a bit better, but Yaxel being 24 does just, it completely erases him off of some teams' boards. Like, why, if I'm the Kings, I'm not taking Axel Linderberg. There's a 0% chance. Zero. None.
It's a factor.
Yes.
Major.
It is a major factor for some of these teams. I don't know. If I'm the Warriors, I'm considering a lot of different guys here. Like, you know, do I get Yaxel and we're trying to be good next year? Yeah. Do I go the more Mraz Johnson, play alongside Draymond for a bit? Can you be our next Draymond? I kind of like that. Talking myself into it. I could see them being like a Dalen Swain team, though, too. Or Cam Carr. All right, we'll just go. I want Yaxel to go to the Thunder in this scenario. So, Cam Carr's kind of a Warriors player, isn't he? We'll just give him Burries so I don't have to talk about him anymore. Braden Burries for the Warriors. You see the Mavs interested in trading up to the Kings for Acuff? I saw that someone tweeted that. Thunder, I will go with Yaxel Linderberg. No two ways around it. My God, if Yaxel ends up on the Thunder, that's disgusting. Miami Heat now with LeBaron gone, I'd be a little bit sick to my stomach. Because where do I go here? I'm not going Nate Mint. Let me tell you that much. I would have loved to have LeBaron. Now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at some forwards, some wings. Steinbach is interesting. It's hard to find the team that like I can really close my eyes and see Steinbach. I was just about to say Sturts. Sturts, or kind of going with what the Heat love and like. A Corey feels like he could be a Heat player, huh? With the rim pressure. I kind of like a Corey to the Heat, to be honest with you. Let's do it. A Corey to Miami. They get a guard in here that can like legit put pressure on the rim. Charlotte. Oh, I actually would love for Charlotte to take the Quentin stab. Because if it ends up paying off for you and you're Charlotte and you have LaMelo, you have Con Knipple, and you take the Quentin shot and it kind of pans out, then that's pretty disgusting. I'm going to go Quaitons here. I like that quite a bit. Bulls. Ooh. Caleb Wilson and Mraz, or is that just too much? Swain kind of fits what they're looking for in terms of like I kind of like Mraz, huh? Is that too much? Mraz Johnson and Caleb Wilson? Or Steinbach. I've seen that quite a bit. Steinbach does kind of make some sense next to Caleb Wilson. Charlotte has one healthy season and decides to play with fire. Well, they also have 2 picks here. So in theory, you could go a little bit risky with one and safer with the other. Let's go with Mraz. How do we feel about that? Caleb Wilson and Mraz Johnson. I like that. I feel like the Grizzlies here with Cam Boozer will probably go like a Cam Carr or a Swain. That feels like that's right up their alley. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them Swain at 18, and then I'm going to give the Thunder Cam Carr, because Cam Carr feels like a Thunder player. That'd probably be a little bit shitty now for the Hornets. Hornets could just go with another guard, though, right? They don't have like a great guard off the bench. What about Sturts to the Hornets? I have yet to see that. I've yet to see Sturts to the Hornets, I don't think, but as just like a backup guard when LaMelo's off the floor, who currently fits that role? Trey Man's a nothing to me. No offense to him, right? But Trey Man could go tomorrow. Steinbach? Well, I already gave him Quaintance. Did they just take the immense stab? No, you can't go the immense stab after taking Quaintance. Okay, I like Graves. Okay. I mean, I've done this a million times. I like Graves to the Hornets. I love Bennett Sturts to the Pistons so much. It's like literally one of my favorite fits in the draft. So fuck it. We'll give Christian Anderson to the Raptors here. I'm thinking Nate Ament falls out of my first round entirely.
Can you say one nice thing about Nate Ament?
He's 7 foot tall.
Wow, you did it.
He's 6'10". Spurs, where would they go here? I bet they would love Morez Johnson, but in this scenario, he's gone. I could see them being like they don't need another guard. Do we think Steinbach could play next to Wemby? I could actually see that. Steinbach playing next to Wemby. Sinak, yeah. Could see them going like Zuby as well. If they feel like Zuby and Wemby could play alongside each other. Koa. Kareem Lopez. He got killed on the Wemby minutes, so fixing that wouldn't be bad. The non-Wemby minutes. Yeah, but I don't know if I love any of these like centers to do that. What about Vesar? What about Vesar on the Spurs? Actually, I think that's a fantastic fit. Because in theory, he can play with the Wemby. And you could just be ginormous because Vesar can shoot. I'm gonna go that route. Pistons, Bennett Sturts. Oh my God, that's the pick of the draft right there. Sixers. Well, hey, I'm gonna give my guy Trill loves Joshua Jefferson, so I'm gonna give him Joshua Jefferson. Atlanta, God, look at these guys dropping. Man, that's a big drop for Steinbach. It's hard for me to think of the Steinbach team though. Doing this all wrong. Should be drafting on nicknames paired with the team star only. Didn't think about that. So Atlanta already drafted Ade Mara. Do you maybe go the Nate Ament? Is this maybe where Nate Ament goes? Like if you've got 2 picks in this draft, maybe Nate Ament. If I'm the Lakers, this draft sucks for the Lakers right now. All of the bigs have been taken. Every single one of them. Yeah, I guess Steinbach, I think we are kind of reaching the point where if I have 2 picks, I'm okay with taking the Nate Ament stab. However, with Ricochet already being in the mix, yeah, Sergio actually, out of all of these guards, okay, I could actually be talked into Sergio. Yeah, okay, let's have some fun. Fuck it. Sergio. Steinbach could go to the Knicks, right? Or Kareem Lopez. Kareem Lopez feels like a good Knicks guy. Okay, Lakers get Steinbach. We stopped that fall. I think Steinbach's nice for the Lakers. That would be like a dream come true for them if that were to happen. Isaiah Evans to the Nuggets, like that just feels like a safe pick right there. How far can Nate Ament drop? I still honestly wouldn't even take Nate Ament right here. Is that crazy? I just don't. I don't know. So scary to me. Okay, I like Sinak here. Yeah. Celtics, Isaiah Evans makes all the sense in the world. I don't hate the Timberwolves taking the Nate Ament stab. I don't hate the Celtics being the team, or the Timberwolves being the team to take the chance. Yeah, let's go that route. Well, they're win now, but at 28, and you feel like maybe this guy could develop. Why not? Who would the Cavs take? In a scenario where they might be trading a big, could they go like Terrace Reed Jr. here? Or Luigi? It's funny because I don't like 30 at all for the Mavs right now because I've just been drafting all the players I like in this scenario. So, like, nobody's dropped. Koa Pete? Fuck it, we'll just give him Koa Pete because Koa Pete will be drafted before 30. So then who would the Mavs take here? Ugh. Baba Miller? Zuby? I kind of like Zuby. Let's have some fun with Zuby. All right. That's it. That's our fun little fuck around mock draft. Mavs get Flemings and Zuby. I'd be pretty ecstatic. Would you take Native at 30? Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, if Native dropped all the way to 30, yeah. I wouldn't. That's like a process that I could at least get and understand. It's like, okay, we already had the 9th overall pick, and now we're just going to take the shot. Now we're just going to take the shot on Native Mint. Flemings is Josh Green too. They're not even remotely comparable. The funny thing is Burries is like the Josh Green concern. What's this draft look like if you go strictly by your model? Well, my model needs some work. It would have been Cam Boozer 101 for sure, AJ 102. I think AJ's number 2 pretty comfortably. Then I think it would have gotten a little bit weird. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Darren Peterson's number 2 on my model, I think, currently. Let me pull up the last model that I did, and then I'm not showing you guys the finished product yet because it ain't ready. It would go Cam Boozer, Peterson. It loves Wagler, AJ, Ademara, Caleb Wilson. I'm not gonna lie. I look at the model, and I'm like, I don't know. This feels pretty good. Just by the way, the model has Burries 17, which isn't that bad because, you know, there's like it has Joshua Jefferson 8th, which is just obviously kind of insane, right? But it does. The thing is, I think it overpowers like players with legit size who can pass, which is valuable, very valuable in the NBA. Like Joshua Jefferson is going to be a good NBA player, I think, pretty comfortably. There's not like a really super high ceiling that would have you drafting him super high, right? Burries is a 6'4" wing who doesn't block shots, not touching that in the lottery. Yeah, I've seen recently it's been the topic of debate, and there's been some pretty extensive deep dives into his playmaking where it's just like he's not going to be a number 1 guy, which is fine, which is totally fine. I don't think that's a big knock on Burries. I think that's fine in his evaluation. I think he still might even be worthy of a top 10 pick if you're just like, he's not going to be a lead guard for you ever, right? I think the concern is if Burries maybe doesn't have the point of attack to guard guards, then he's a wing, and is he not undersized at that point? But Derek White, he's not going to be Derek White defensively, dude. Derek White is 1 of 1. Like, it's time to just throw that away. Derek White is a 1 of 1 defensive player who was a prolific shot blocker in college. He's getting the D-Book hero comps, but those guys can play the one. Yeah, but can they, though? I hear that. It's like, can they, though? Like, the Booker point guard experiment was a disaster. There's a big reason why the Suns flamed out as badly as they did. You need a point guard. Anyways, I'm going to drop a video tonight about the Los Angeles Lakers. Make sure you guys tune into House of Haymaker tomorrow for the World Cup draft. And then we'll be live tomorrow night on the channel, obviously, for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you so much. If you haven't liked the stream, make sure you do so. Subscribe. Have a great Thursday. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Who's it gonna be? This is it! One more! Oh my God! My brain's gonna explode. There's something sinister afoot, absolutely.
Security at the Haymaker Network is provided by Smith Thompson. Secure your home now at smiththompson.com.